bringing you the latest news from Coronado Athletics. This is the Mustang Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the High School Fan Zone on a Tuesday night. We're going to switch gears and go from 47th Street to 34th Street and talk a little Coronado football. Mustangs lost their opener on the road, 28-22 against Wichita Falls Legacy. I've heard a lot of good things about what you guys did, but Andrew, what's the one number that I was mentioning there before we jumped in? What's the one number that sticks out like a sore thumb?
Just turnovers. We had 5 turnovers. Our last 4 possessions were turnovers, so that kind of did us in. And, with all that being said, we were still in it with a minute left to go, and we understand what happened, and it was fun. We learned from it. The sun came up Saturday, and we got after it, and we've been getting after it ever since, so we're ready to go.
I had a feeling that would be the case.
Yeah.
I'm joined here by 2 of Coach's players. I'm going to let them introduce themselves so the radio folks can hear them by voice.
I'm JJ Villalobos, the quarterback.
I'm Trey Anthony Thompson, linebacker.
I'm glad you said your name because you said Tay-Tay a minute ago. I would have, and I don't want to make any moms or grandmas mad, so I'm glad we got you to introduce yourself there. We talked last week. This is what you didn't want to happen. You didn't want to be that historical first win, but I've also talked to several coaches who said this is a different Legacy team.
Yeah.
Different coaching staff. Your guys are all a year older. That's a big deal. What did they do well that, besides taking the ball away, that got to you guys?
So they executed, man. They got the first turnover. We gave it to them inside the 20, on a bad snap, and they executed first play touchdown, which is what you want to do after a turnover. They hit a big play, and so they're up 7-0. We come back and, we score. We even it up. They kick a field goal. They're up 10-7. We come back, score a touchdown. We're up 14-10. They kick another field goal. We hold them right before half. So we're up going into half. We're feeling good. With all the mistakes that we had, we had, I think, 2 turnovers going into halftime. And then, we're up. We're still feeling confident. We come out, actually 14-10 going into halftime. We come out, and after half, they go down, kick a field goal. We go down, score. We're up. So, we felt like we had the game in control all the way until the end. And last 4 possessions were turnovers, and that kind of did us in. And momentum. They're at home. They had some things going their way. Little home cooking, we won't get into, but things that are kind of out of your hands. But I think we learned from it. Good environment to be in.
Well, that's the other thing I heard is that with the way they've changed schools, that there's a little bit more energy at Memorial Stadium for home games.
Yeah, they had it going, man. He's got it going in the right direction. Coach Davis, you can tell the difference from last year. They're ready to go. They're going to be a different ball club this year. It was fun.
Looking at your numbers, you put up some decent numbers. You had a 100-yard rusher. Campbell did what he does. He got a little help here from his quarterback.
Yep.
JJ, what did you like about what you guys did offensively when you kept the ball in your hands?
I feel like offensively, we did good, moving the ball. I felt like if we limited our turnovers, we had a lot of chances that we could have scored. When we had the turnovers, it was in chances that we really should have scored. So I think us limiting those and replacing them with touchdowns, that game would have been a whole different ball game.
When you say 4 straight turnovers, too, it keeps you from getting any kind of momentum and just keeps kind of throwing gas on the fire for them.
Yeah. Big Mo was definitely on their side. You know what I mean? They had a couple big turnovers in a row. Those first 2, and kind of they got ahead of us on that second one. And then the last 2, and some of them, like I said, JJ threw one that he knows he shouldn't have thrown early in the first quarter, and that really didn't bother us. And then one fluke, they say it hit off the tight end's heel, and one guy made a diving catch. It was a spectacular play if it was for real. And then another one that was a great play by them. So, there's 3 interceptions right there that, can go either way. And then the fumbles, 2 of them I didn't think were fumbles, but, that's how it goes.
Trey, same question for you. You guys, what Coach said there, if they took the ball away 4 straight times and you still got the ball back with a chance to win the game at the end, defense was kind of doing your job in the quick change situations. What did you like about what the defense did?
Defensively, I like how we had our stuff under control, and even after the turnovers, we were able to stop them and get a couple 3-and-outs before the half. And I like how we kept our attitude up all the way towards the end, and I like how we fought hard and with all the stuff we've been doing through practice. I like it.
You guys have some new faces on that side of the ball. And I had a sit down with Chip Darden today, and he talked about how different you guys look, and he was very complimentary of how you looked.
Yeah.
And the reason I mentioned Chip Darden is because that is this week for Coronado. They're at home against Lubbock Cooper, 7 p.m. Friday at Lowry Field. We're going to come back after the break and talk about that in the Mustang Fan Zone.
Diving headfirst into Coronado athletics. You're listening to the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score on the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back to the Mustang Fan Zone. I want to throw out a reminder again that we've shuffled the deck a little bit this fall. Monday nights will be Estacado, Memorial, and Liberty, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Tuesday nights are Monterey and Coronado, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday nights are Lubbock High, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper, 6 to 7:30 p.m. One thing we're going to do this year on the High School Fan Zone is we're going to name a Girls and Boys Player of the Week, the High School Fan Zone Player of the Week. We're going to save football until tomorrow. But I'm going to throw the Girls Player of the Week out there is Friendship volleyball player Hannah Hutchison, who I believe, if I added up right, Friendship went 8-1 at the Gene Messer First Serve Tournament. In those 9 matches, this may include their non-district match on Tuesday as well. Hannah had 128 assists, 55 digs, 9 aces, and 6 kills. And she has moved out of the shadow of her brother. You guys know Hud Hutchison that played at Friendship?
Yeah.
That's his little sister. So she's making a name for herself now. We'll talk about the boys. Well, it'll be a football player. I just sort of spoiled that surprise. It'll be a football player. Fan Zone Boys Player of the Week tomorrow during the Fan Zone broadcast then. We're going to jump back into the Mustang Fan Zone. We mentioned Lubbock Cooper. We're going to switch gears. We're going to leave Wichita Falls Legacy in the rearview mirror, which, Andrew, when did you tell your guys to do that?
We kind of mentioned it Saturday, we were done with it. We kind of still mentioned some little things that happened, and, because I think they're important, and we're dealing with them still. Monday morning, we dealt with some things in practice that fell back to the game. Tuesday, today, that kind of fell back to the game, and we'll leave it alone tomorrow. But I think we're where we need to be at Tuesday afternoon. So, and
that's important because you guys have a tough test coming up Friday. That's become the last probably 10, 12 years become a really fun rivalry game.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've ever been in the same district. It's always been a non-district game.
No, 2 years ago.
2 years. Okay, so that's right. For a couple years.
For 2 years, we were in the same district.
And depending on what happens here in October and then again in February, could be a district game again.
Yeah.
I want you two to talk about what kind of gets you guys revved up to play Lubbock Cooper, because that is, like I said, it's a little bit of a rivalry game. It goes back to while Coach Parr enjoyed playing Lubbock Cooper when both of them were flying high. JJ, why does it get you fired up to know you guys get to come out and try to bounce back against the Pirates on Friday?
Really, I've been looking forward to this game because last year this is the game that I stepped into, second quarter, the end of it, and threw my first touchdown on varsity. And then the second half, I kind of slowed down, and I feel like that's been like a chip on my shoulder, like slowing down in that game. I feel like if I didn't slow down, we could have won that game. So I've been looking forward to this game, and then knowing how the fans come out is just like cool, like to see everybody come out and it just make it a big game.
Yes,
So-
there's a few of those coming up on the schedule that Lowry Field should be hopping a little bit. What about you? What gets you excited about Friday night?
We haven't really. I don't think we've beat them in the last few years, so going out on Friday and getting a win would be nice. I also want to make a name for myself. I want to prove that I am better than what is being seen on film and on TV, and I'm really excited to play and show everyone what I got.
I like that. I like that energy. Not to pick this guy, but I think he's right, Andrew. I think the last time Coronado beat Lubbock Cooper was when Sawyer Robertson
Senior year,
was a
yeah.
senior, and
Yeah.
that was a really good.
I think
Coronado
we've had some good games. That's why, once we were in district with those guys, and then once they dropped back down, I got with Chip and I wanted to play them because they're just a well-coached team and they do everything right over there, and it's going to get us prepared for a tough district. And so we know if we can go in there and play with those guys, we're going to be well prepared for anybody that we face after that. So, we got with Chip and, we put it on the schedule. Last year it kind of got away from us in the second half. We were close there. It was 21-17 going into halftime.
Game.
Yeah. And then we kind of had a couple turnovers there in the third quarter, but it's always been a tough fought game, man, and the crowd is there. You're going to get some chants going on from our section, from their section. It's gonna be rocking. So it's one of those environments that you love to have.
I don't know these guys. I don't know if young guys still do the ice bath on Saturdays, but I have a feeling that whatever the version is, that both schools are going to have plenty of ice baths going.
There's some big boys out Friday night, and then there's going to be some fast flying around secondary and some skill guys hitting each other. So it's going to be some soreness on Saturday for sure.
No question. I did mention I spoke to Chip. He spoke very highly of how you guys played last year. So we'll come back with one more segment of the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Your inside look into Coronado sports. This is the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back to one more segment of the Mustang Fan Zone on a Tuesday night. Real quick, I'm going to run through the Raymar broadcast stations for your Friday nights, actually Thursday night with Monterey this week. Friendship is on Double T 97.3. Lubbock Cooper is right here on 100.7 The Score. Liberty can be heard on 93.1 Yes FM. These Mustangs are on 96.9 The Bull, and Monterey's on 93.7 The Eagle. So Friday night, when Lubbock Cooper comes up US 87 to Lowry Field, you're going to be able to hear that on 96.9 The Bull and 100.7 The Score. I don't know how many people will be listening, though, Andrew, because there's going to be a lot of people in that stadium. Probably not a lot of butts in the seats either. They're going to be standing up.
Yeah, there should be a lot of people there. It always gets exciting. We'll have a good fan base from our student fan base, and they're pumped up. They're ready to go, and I'm excited. First home game, we're ready to go.
Lubbock Cooper comes in off of a loss as well. They lost to Lucas Lovejoy 35-31, and something that I've said to a couple coaches, because it was a rough week for Lubbock teams.
Yeah.
A couple of them did get wins, but there's worse things than losing your first game, first of all. But then when you get to come back against a rival, that's maybe the perfect medicine. Does that help you guys to, and I don't want to diminish any other opponent you might play, but to know that you're playing a team where you know those guys, you've seen them in football, you've seen them in different sports. Does that help get you a little fired up?
Yeah, I mean, playing Lubbock Cooper is always a fun one. Had fun last year, and I know it's going to be a blast this year. And they play hard football, and we're going to bring it too. So we'll see how it ends.
What about you? Does it get your pulse going a little bit?
Yeah, it really does. Like he said, playing against Cooper is always fun. Always lots of competition. So it's a game to work on your skills and really better yourself for the next level.
That's probably just excited not having to drive a bus 3.5 hours across what looks like Mars at night, too.
Oh, man. That bus ride home last week was terrible. We hit Crowleyton, and it was pouring. and it was something different. But yeah, it was a long ride. We got back late. It's always good to stay around town and play against people and good friendly rivalries. So it's fun. We're excited.
So Andrew, what is improvement for your team this week? What do you want to see from these guys?
Eliminate turnovers, first of all, and we gave up some big plays, and obviously most of them were after the turnovers, which is expected. And so we want to get better in that aspect of the game. I thought we played great defense. We did some good things on defense, and we did some great things on offense too. Special teams was okay. And we just want to improve in all aspects of the game. That's it.
Because there were building blocks.
There were, absolutely.
It's hard to see them sometimes with the turnovers, but what were some things you liked?
You see 5 turnovers, and you think that you lost by 21 points.
Yep.
We feel like, we stopped them. I think we went 3 and out with 3 timeouts left. Still got the ball back with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and felt comfortable that we'd go down and score. And then we just had a mistake and didn't turn out our way. But we feel comfortable if we eliminate mistakes that we're a good football team. And so we just want to go execute. That's all we want to do. And so that's been our main focus all week.
Do you guys feel comfortable, confident that you can turn things around quick this week?
Yes, sir. Very confident.
Coach, I would imagine this is a dude I could have played for back in my day. I'm a lot older than him even. But he's going to preach the sermon you need to hear in the right way and get you to do things to get better. It's fair to say?
Yes, sir.
What has Coach's sermon been this week that kind of sticks with you?
What have you been saying?
Remember, it's family radio.
Yeah,
he says a lot, and it's
just relating
relating
this team, to the district championship team, right? And how you guys are kind of the same way. We started out 0-3,
yes,
in 2021, and we can't let emotions get the best of us. We can't get too high, can't get too low. And this team reminds me a lot of that team. We have a lot of similarities with a lot of great players, and I think we can overcome some things that we're dealing with a new offense and stuff like that. So we're dealing with adversity, and this team is going to overcome that.
And that's what makes sports and makes football so great. It grows young people up. That's going to wrap us up on this edition of the High School Fan Zone. Congratulations again to Hannah Hutchison of Friendship, the Fan Zone Girls Player of the Week. We'll be back tomorrow night, starting with Lubbock High at 6 p.m. in the Western Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta, and this is 100.7 The Score.